2024. And the truth be told, the Pom Pom Lifestyle Virtual Summit is the only one of its kind. We're going to give you 7 assets to acquire in the summit. That's right, from condos, single-family homes, duplexes, apartment buildings, resorts, acquiring other deal flow of acquisition of companies. And most importantly, we're going to show you how to finance it 7 different ways, from seller financing, home equity lines of credit, traditional cash out refis, substitution of collateral, and private investors in the summit. And last but not least, money follows management. We're going to give you our 7 spheres of money business team, all licensed professionals with 10 plus years, 6-figure passive income, 7-figure net worths. What are you waiting for? The Pom Pom Lifestyle movement can't be stopped. Hit the link. Join me in the only summit of its kind. I'll see you on the flip side. It's official. We're in business, guys.
All right.
Here's where we do it at, baby. Cooperative economics. What's happening, everybody? This is DJ the Money Coach coming to you live January 17th, 2024. And history has already been recorded. That's right. We just opened up a 220-unit luxury residential resort in Zanzibar. We also are completing 4 luxury townhouses in Zanzibar. And we're also going to open up the Pom Pom Lifestyle Resort in Zanzibar. It's Africans for Africans, supported by Black Americans unapologetically. So what time is it? The Pom Pom Lifestyle movement can't be stopped. Hit the link. Join us on the Beaches World in Zanzibar. Home is ours. Peace.
All right, everyone. Welcome to Family Finance Friday with DJ the Money Coach. And this show is brought to you by the DJ the Money Coach team and the 7 Spheres of Money systems. And before we take you to tonight's beach, like this video, share it with at least 5 people. And if you're not already subscribed to this YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell for the notifications and help us spread the word of the Pom Pom Lifestyle movement, which is plenty of money, peace of mind, and come join us on the beaches of the world. And tonight's beach is DJ the Money Coach 4th year anniversary. Tomorrow, April 20th, it's going down. So tonight is a celebration. So happy Friday, happy anniversary. Let's let's have some fun tonight.
There you go. There you go. We're back in the house, baby. And it's a beautiful day, TGIF. Thank goodness it is Friday. And any day above ground with your health is an amazing day. So that's the first thing we want to do is say, hey, we want to wish everybody tremendous health. If you have parents that are still with you, reach out to them, tell them how much you love them. You have beautiful children, reach out to them, tell them how much you love them, how proud you are of them. And if you have some children that are not doing what they're supposed to do, make sure you discipline them and then encourage them to become a better version of themselves, because that is so important in today's world that we have accountability. You know, it amazes me how we fall short on accountability in today's world, and we give everybody a pass. But today is a happy day. I want to say a shout out to my beloved daughter, whose birthday was on Wednesday, April 17th. We gave her an amazing birthday celebration, and she actually is, becoming an amazing young teenager that I'm so, proud of her. Straight A student, honor roll, National Honor Society, plays the cello, is top of her class in the STEM programs, science, technology, engineering, math. She's dominating all the things, and she's dominating because she's putting that work in. And that's the most important thing. And she's very down to earth. And then the most important part, she has a real man in her life on a daily basis, teaching her what the right way to grow up to become a Proverbs 31 woman. So shout out to my namesake. That's right. She's named after her dad. And she's doing a great job. And she's a hell of an example for her younger sister. So shout out to my namesake daughter who celebrated her 15th birthday. And this is all about celebration. So with that said, we're going to make this short, sweet, to the point. And this is a commemoration of a culmination of 4 years of hard work. And as we always talk about, how do we get here? Wise men have told us that where you are today is based on what you were doing 5 years ago, based on your plan, your goals, and your work, or your lack of plans, your lack of goal, and your lack of work. So in Proverbs, it says, the lazy person, starves to death, but the man or woman who works diligently has a prosperous life. And so this is going to be that version of prosperity. And the most important part of it, it comes with peace, because all prosperity is not peaceful when you're not doing it God's way. So the first thing we want to talk about is we want to shout out to those people to help us get this bad boy off the ground, because without them, there will be no us. So that's right. We're going to give a shout out to the original posse that helped put this program together. So first shout out is going to be to my main man, Nick Westbrooks. He's the one of the original members of the original team that brought this thing together. And he came over from one of our, amazing platforms, Urban X. Shout out to them. We give them love, baby. Shout out to Malcolm and the Black Dot and Mama Dot and their sister and their brothers. They're doing an extraordinary job over there on Urban X. And if you haven't heard of them, hey, I encourage you to subscribe and check them out. So shout out to them. Shout out to Ashley, who actually was part of our original team that actually introduced us to the Classy Climb. Shout out to her. Shout out to Renee. Renee's still with us. Renee is the person who built our amazing DJTheMoneyCoach.com website and does the maintenance and maintain it. And actually right now are putting in the work to actually launch our newest Zanzibar website that will start open up bookings and everything on it. It's going to be amazing. We might give you a sneak preview of that because it's going to be opened up pretty soon here in the next 3 to 5 business days. So we're excited about that, So shout out to those original. Shout out to Ross, one of our original investors in the enterprise to get us off the ground. We talked about we invested $12,000, over 3 months to get this bad boy off the ground. And in 3 months, we made a whopping $3,000. We did about 6 different master classes and we made a whopping $3,000. But here's the great thing about it, ladies and gentlemen. We had done this before in the bricks and mortar world, so we did not panic. We just stayed the course, And shout out to John, and shout out. I'm trying to remember the other young lady who was our marketing person, having a senior moment. But shout out to them, because without them coming together to put our original marketing plan together, put our original foundation together on a technical side, on a engineering side, we would not be here today. And for them to take that time to join the posse and get this thing off the ground, we salute you, and we salute our investors who actually brought this to fruition. And we are extremely excited about the returns that you're going to be yielding in the next 12 to 24 months, because this is a 2 to 5 year business plan. And we want to give a shout out to those folks. We want to give a shout out to those first 300-400 people who actually came through the classes, which Nick was a part of, and the classes were great, but our technology was terrible, ladies and gentlemen. But you would be amazed. Matter of fact, I'll have Nick comment on that, because here's the most important thing about this celebration, ladies and gentlemen. It is the focus and the intentionality of staying the course. So Nick, let's put up, the core foundation of our system, which we tell people about, and we call it, the 4x4. The 4x4. This is the reason why we're here. It's called the 4x4. What are the first four in the 4x4? Number one, it is discipline. Okay? If you don't discipline yourself personally or in business or in health, you will be disciplined and it won't be good. It'll be ugly. Okay? So first thing you have to do is incorporate discipline into your life. The second thing you have to do is have accountability. Accountability to someone that you are accountable to, not to yourself. Now, you should be accountable to yourself, but you also have to have the ability to have someone or people who actually mentor you, partner with you, that hold you accountable to what we call the 11th commandment. The 11th commandment is you look in the mirror and you say, "Thou shalt not jive thyself." So the second and the four dirty little words is accountability, because without accountability, you have chaos and you have anarchy. So we're accountable, and we're accountable to a variety of different programs. The most important one we're accountable to, number 3, is the system called the 7 spheres of money. So we subscribe and we plug in 100% to the 7 spheres of money system, which we created back in 2002. So it is a 22-year system of proven success. Thus, if we discipline ourselves, have ourselves accountable, and we plug into the system and do exactly what the system has been engineered to do, we will yield success if and only if we do the hardest part, the work. The work. And that work starts with committing, without negotiating the price of success, 2 to 5 years of work. Not 2 to 5 days, not 2 to 5 weeks, not 2 to 5 months, 2 to 5 years. And once you do that and you incorporate 3 advisors into your life, number 1, you should have a spiritual advisor, whomever your God is, and hopefully you subscribe to the real God. You have to have someone who emulates the principles of success from a spiritual perspective. Okay? So 3 people that I have plugged into. Number 1 was Pastor Donald Rackett, Chicagoland Bible Fellowship. Shout out to beautiful church and ministry that I was part of for a couple of decades. Obviously, they're in Chicago. I'm in a different location now, but that was my first, person that I plugged into from a spiritual standpoint. I plugged into what he taught me. And I want you to write this down if you're watching this. He said, DJ, he said, don't follow me, and darn sure don't follow my personality. But he said, I want you to take out BK1, the Bible. And he said, I want you to do 3 things. I want you to make it meaningful, measurable, and manageable based on your comprehension of BK1. Not Donald Rackett's comprehension of BK1, but your comprehension of BK1. And if and only if I, Donald Rackett, are emulating the principles in that book, and they're meaningful, measurable, and manageable, should you follow me? That's it. Real simple instructions. Basic instructions before leaving earth. That's what the Bible stands for. And to follow a man of God, I did not follow his personality. I followed the principles that he emulated based on my comprehension of me reading the book and grafting it into my soul, studying it, and make sure what he was sharing with me from the pulpit was meaningful, measurable, and manageable based on my comprehension. So that's my first spiritual leader of any significance. From there, I had the benefit of then start following Dr. Miles Monroe, who wrote a book called The Leader Within. And again, I followed the principles that Dr. Miles Monroe was emulating through his book. And then God blessed me to actually meet him personally before he took him home in a tragic, airplane crash heading back to his homeland of the Bahamas. But again, I followed him. I read 3 or 4 of his books. And then the third person I followed was Dr. Tony Evans. So those are my 3 foundations of a 3-legged stool for my spiritual leadership that is important to incorporate these 4 dirty little words of discipline, accountability, plug it into a proven system, and go to work for 2 to 5 years. The second advisor that I follow is a leadership advisor. So the leadership advisor that I followed is Dr. John C. Maxwell, who's written hundreds of world-class books. The number one that I like is the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. Then he has another one called the 21 Laws of Influence. But he has a variety of books that are great principle based. And so God bless me. I had the blessing of actually meeting him in person when he was rolling out his Enjoy Club, and he came to our church to actually incorporate his 21 irrefutable laws of leadership. So from a leadership standpoint, how do I know he's a leader? Well, turn around, look behind, and he's got hundreds of thousands of people following him throughout the world. And he has a principled reputation above reproach. And in the 25 years I've been following him, he's never had any negative things from an integrity standpoint, a leader standpoint, that ever fell on his doorstep. So that's a man of God that is strongest one in leadership. So I subscribe to his advice indirectly from a leadership capacity. Okay. A second gentleman that I, followed from a leadership standpoint is a gentleman named Eric K. Dargan. Eric K. Dargan, who happened to become one of my best friends, but Mr. Eric K. Dargan, met him back in 2010. He was a director of public works for the city of Houston, doing a phenomenal job managing a $6 billion, city budget. And I met a man that was above reproach. And again, I followed the principles that I understood from leadership from Dr. John C. Maxwell. And I was able to plug into somebody personally that I had measured, meaningful, and manageable comprehension that I can follow him. And here's a man that had thousands of city employees reporting to him. And here's a man who was a headship, married, children, one wife, one God, one family, and doing a phenomenal job. And here's a man that stood in the gap for many other people, who was a man of integrity, that he did all his dealings with a handshake. Amazing. And in his walk, this man, since I've been knowing him 14 years now, I've seen him, go through, a beloved wife who God took from cancer and stood in the gap, never complained or anything, and just continued to show leadership. And then God blessed him. He was able to retire debt-free. And God brought another, Proverbs 31 woman into his life. His children are, not perfect, but they are great children. Honorable, respectful, gracious, hardworking, kind, loving. So he had the fruit on the tree. He ran multiple organizations, chairman of the 3rd largest credit union in the city of Houston. Never heard a bad thing about this man. Many of different organizations across the country he would go and serve, and even in his church. So now this gentleman in retirement, God blessed him with a dream opportunity that he always wanted, the ability to run a whole entire major city and on the beachfront. So God blessed him. So that's leadership. Okay. So then from there, I went to my third advisor, which is a business advisor. Okay. So again, first one that I had was a gentleman named Curtis, who I saw work at Northern Trust Bank in Chicago, retire when he was a VP at the young age of 35 as a multimillionaire through real estate. And I actually saw this gentleman riding in a car with him 2, 3, 4 years in a row, build a real estate portfolio the right way, buy real estate properties, cash, no debt, very frugal-minded person, great steward of his finances, great family man. And I followed his instruction. And from there, then I stumbled on to one of the guys is legend in the industry, Robert Kiyosaki. And I think I read Rich Dad Poor Dad like in 1998. And again, it's amazing how God works. I had the pleasure of meeting Robert Kiyosaki in Chicago with my right-hand man, Melvin Hobson, who I met at a Robert Kiyosaki event. And it's so funny, Melvin first initial contact with Robert Kiyosaki was a negative experience because he didn't understand all these people trying to talk to Robert Kiyosaki, and he thought Robert Kiyosaki was being rude to him. And I said, hey, man, if you look around, we're in a major convention center, and look at all these thousands of people coming to talk to him. So I don't think he was purposely trying to be rude to you. So I think you should give him a benefit of the doubt. And fortunately for us, he gave him a benefit of doubt. And then Melvin turned out to be his first and largest affiliate in Chicagoland to actually market the Cash Flow 101 game. So I had the benefit one-on-one with Curtis from 27 to 35. Saw him, walk away from a heavy 6-figure job and turn into a multimillionaire, paying off all his investment properties cash, and showed me how the business works and showed me how to do it integrity. Then I had the benefit of meeting Robert Kiyosaki by having a relationship with Melvin, who's been with me for 20 years. And then I had the other benefit of meeting the gentleman who actually taught me the conference business, Dr. George Fraser of the FraserNet Power Network. So with the first dirty little words and having 3 advisors, first, spiritual, second, leadership, third, business, we have been able to incorporate success, compound it into 4 years where we've had tenfold return on our service, our time, and our investment. So the 4x4, the second part, which is the technical piece, or like I like to call the CEO skills, the soft skills. Okay. So the first one, ladies and gentlemen, is professionalism. And it's a sad thing that we have to talk about what professionalism is. But in today's age, that's one of the main things we're leaving on the side of the road, because if you make money, you're supposed to be good, but that's not true. Okay. So professionalism is this. Number 1, speak the King's English. I'm not literally referring to speaking perfect English, grammatically correct. I'm saying that in any industry that you're in, the King's English is what you should speak. Meaning, if I'm an educator, I'm going to speak in terms of syllabus, midterms, finals, spring break, graduation, GPAs, credits. You understand where I'm coming from? If I'm in the financial world, the King's English for us personally, profit and loss, general ledgers, accrual, interest, loans, debt, credit. You get my drift, ladies and gentlemen? That's the King's English. If I'm in the fintech world, then I'm going to speak, fintech language. That's the first leg of professionalism. The second leg of professionalism is look the part. So as you can see us, we're in a casual, ensemble, which we normally are because we're informal. So our professional gear is our brand, our caps, our shirts. See, my shirt I have on here is a rhino, which means running headstrong into negative opposition. And our mantra is what Nick has on, which is our lifestyle. Plenty of money, peace of mind. It's the pom-pom lifestyle. And we want you to have that. So that's our attire. We dress the part. However, when we are actually doing formal events and I am a keynote speaker, you're going to find me in a suit. As you can see over the back, you're going to find me in a well-sharp, tailored suit. That's professionalism. So that's the second leg of the three-legged stool of professionalism. And the third one is real simple: punctuality. We come on every Friday, 6:35 or 6:30. I think it's 6:35 Central Time. Guess what? We're here at 6 p.m. because the lights go on Action Live at 6:35. So what does that mean? Professionalism is you show up no later than 15 minutes before, because even if you show up at 14 minutes before, you're 1 minute late. So that's professionalism. Okay? Shouldn't have to explain that to you, but there's certain etiquettes that you should have to subscribe to in any industry. Number 2, persistence. Persistently pursue your plan. Again, our system, 2 to 5 years, not 2 to 5 days, not 2 to 5 weeks, not 2 to 5 months, 2 to 5 years. Now, howbeit, you have immediate success in your endeavor in 2 to 5 months, 2 to 5 weeks. Hey, happy you ought to be. However, you should expect some challenges because anything that comes quick normally goes quicker. So persistently follow your plan of 2 to 5 years. Emphasis on the plan, written, spoken, practice with your team, strategy. That's number 2. Number 3 is the most important one from a character base. Infinitesimal fortitude, moxie, gonads, broad shoulders. It is perseverance. This is where the men separate themselves from the boys and the women separate themselves from the girls, because here's what leaders and winners know. There's always going to be unexpected challenges for you to become successful in a very good business. Because guess what? All business is providing solutions to challenges, or what losers perceive as problems. So in these CEO soft skills with incorporation of some technical, it is professionalism, persistence, perseverance, and then the one that puts you over the top is you have to have the ability to perform when the lights are the brightest, or in emergency situations, or a sliver of time, you rise above the masses. This is what is the 4x4. And this is why in our 4th year anniversary online tomorrow, we can celebrate with peace of mind, serenity, tranquility, and have a growing organization and growing profit from doing things the right way. Do we have setbacks? Absolutely, all the time. But because we're leaders and we expect it, we keep our disposition and our demeanor at a calm level because we're winners, leaders, and shepherds. Now, what's my definition of a winner? A winner is a man or a woman who always does the right thing to win, and they don't cut corners. Matter of fact, winners hate losing more than they love winning. But they don't cheat, they don't lie, they don't fabricate. And when they make an honest mistake, they stand up and address their honest mistakes. So that's a winner. A leader is a woman or a man that has the ability to make tough, right decisions in tough situations. Anybody can make right decisions and make money when everybody is able to do it very easily. I.e., in the pandemic, there was a lot of free money rolling out there. You can just throw something against the wall, make money. 2006 to the front end of 2008, everybody was making money easily. 2014 to 2019, same thing. But in a recession and a correction, when the markets constrict, that's when you show true leadership. Inflation goes up, taxation goes up, bills goes up, resources are limited. Can you stay the course and, most importantly, keep a wise, calm demeanor and understand tough times don't last, tough people do? Can you be that beacon of hope and light to your team and tell them what to expect, how to happen, and again, be able to make great quality decisions? And when you make wrong decisions, number one, be accountable to those decisions. Have the ability to pick up that phone, talk to that client and say, hey, here's what happened. I'm not making excuses, but I'm not running. Here's how I can make it right. Accountability. And then the last one is most important during these times is a shepherd. Pure and simple, ladies and gentlemen, a shepherd is required to take care of the least important. Those who are in true need, those homeless veterans, those single parent homes, those elderly people, those people on the border, those people in countries of conflict. God says, to what you do to the least of us is what you do to me. And this means you're not out parading your charitable contributions or your philanthropy. You're doing it in silence. But it also means when you see something going wrong, that you do step up and make a contribution. So that's why today we're here to celebrate a 4-year anniversary, because this is a team victory. And what great leaders do, they give all praise and acknowledgement in public to the team. And when things go wrong, they're the first ones to step up and take it. Or when they need to have a course of change or action with somebody on the team or a client, they take them to the side and speak to them one-on-one in private. Now, albeit we're not perfect, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes we have public displays, but we immediately correct that course to make it right. Because here's the thing that my grandfather and my father always taught me. Say, DJ, you lose money, you've lost nothing. You lose a friend, you lost something. But my son, my grandson, the name on the back of the jersey belongs to me. And if you lose the reputation and the honor and the respect that took us 30, 40 years to build up in our community, you've lost everything. So in today's world, it takes 30 seconds to lose your integrity, your credibility, and your validation. However, another thing that a leader and a winner and a shepherd never does, you never entertain stupidity. You never seek validation from social constructs. So these are the things we're excited about. So with that said, we want to shout out, and we're going to go to a quick break. We're going to give a shout out to the people that enabled us to make our biggest project the most successful. And so we're going to run down on that, and then we're going to go to break, and then we're going to wrap it up, and we're going to let you beautiful people go on about your beautiful Friday. And hopefully where you are, like I am, it's a sunny 80-degree weather and even better forecast Saturday and Sunday. So with that said, in no particular order, I'm going to shout out to the people who have rolled with us in our biggest project over the last 2.5 years. We have 57 people who actually made our Zanzibar project what it is, beginning with the smallest contributor at 1K to the largest contributor over 100K, but they're all important because we couldn't get here without them. And that's what's going to give us the ability to have created cooperative economics, leveraging our professional networks, taking ecosystems that are independently successful and interdependently working together with other ecosystems, be it nationally, locally, regionally, and more importantly now, internationally. And that gives us the ability to create our best 2 words on the planet for us: equity and ownership. So with that said, here we go. Shout out to Angela. Shout out to Arnett. Shout out to Avrion. Shout out to Bradley. Shout out to Brandon. Shout out to Kathy. Shout out to Cedric. Shout out to Charisma. Shout out to Chris. Shout out to all 3 of the Crystals. Shout out to both Cynthias. Shout out to Demasia. Shout out to Deshawn, Dolores, both of the Doloreses. Shout out to Ebony. Shout out to Emily. Shout out to Eric. Shout out to Evelyn. Shout out to Felicia. Shout out to Frank. All right, hold on. Let me just scroll up here. All right. Shout out to Gamaliel. Shout out to Hedda. Shout out to Humphrey. Shout out to Isaiah. Shout out to Ivorine. Shout out to Jadiana. Shout out to James. All 3 Jameses. Shout out to Jeffrey, Jermaine, Jeanette, KC, Keith, Kalita, Kadera, Chemo, Curtacia, Lakeisha, Maggie, Maria, Miriam, Natalie, Nick, Pam, Paula, Randy, Renee, David, Shanika, Salome, Sylvia, Tajir, Darrenay, Timothy, Janice, Treva, Trina, Diani, and Wanda. Those are all the amazing people that took a bet and invested with us ever since March of 2022 to today. And those people are being rewarded with an amazing first accomplishment that nobody in these United States have done. Nobody. What do I mean? Many people over in Zanzibar, many organizations have invested in Zanzibar, but I'm talking about Americans. And I'm specifically talking about unapologetically Black Americans. So we have, with the help of those 57 people, have taken down and built and erected a luxury residential resort, which we are proud to say significant owners, significant, own buildings, own gyms, and a resort one of its kind on the island with a blue lagoon, white sand beach, the only the resort that has that on the whole island. Then we topped that and we bought acres of land, and now we have just about completed building from scratch 5 luxury townhouses that we bought the land back in July of 2023. And all of them are completely just about done getting the landscape and everything happening right now, folks. And the doors will be open on them bad boys at the 30th of this month. First week of May, we'll be turning them over to people to stay in them and all that good stuff. We're excited. So we got that accomplished with the help of those 57 people that I spoke about. And here's the great thing, ladies and gentlemen. Another first. We have no debt on any of these real estate properties. That's right. We own them complete, free and clear. No institutional investment, no loans. We own them outright, baby. We also took down another several acres of land, and we're about to build, which will be opening up in the third quarter of 2025, God willing. Our flagship resort, which we own 100% of, the Pom Pom Lifestyle Resort. It's going to be amazing, technologically advanced, luxury compound with American flavor from our viewpoint, with a spin of Zanzibar on it that's going to be second to none. On top of that, we now have started 2 legs of the 5-leg ancillary businesses that support our real estate holdings, because these are the most important. They're our Trojan horse. So we have a lot to celebrate, because in the process from 2022 to 2027, the Zanzibar economy is going to yield annually $1.3 billion worth of revenue. And 300 million of it is going to be derived annually from travel, transportation, waste management, concierge, and tourism. And we have already begun, with the help of 5 investors from that list. We rolled out, acquired a couple of vehicles, and we now have a couple of boats coming off the assembly line that will be delivered to us, where we'll take advantage of that economy. We'll be rolling out our waste management company probably at the end of the year. Our concierge will be coming in probably the third quarter of this year. And the travel, we already have some discounts from some airlines, but we're going to get into that, where we're going to get more than discounts and we're going to get paid. So this is why the 4th year anniversary is so important to us, because of you. So to give the best celebration and the best acknowledgement of your commitment to us to commemorate these 4 years is to give you an exclusive that no one will ever get. What do I mean by that? Well, we've had the pleasure and the privilege and the honor to take about 50-something people to Zanzibar over the last 2 years through 3 group trips. Our first group trip, if I'm not mistaken, was in June. No, it was in July of 2022. Sometime I have it evident. Our second trip was in, our first trip was in June. All right, June of 2022. Our second group trip was July, end of July, first week of August 2023. And our third group trip was the grand opening celebration on MLK's birthday, January 15th. And in addition to that, I've been there multiple times. I think it's 5 times. Our team has been there 3-4 times. We actually have team members that have stayed there for 3-4 months at a time to build the operation. So those trips that we've embarked upon on the Pom Pom Lifestyle, go have a great time, 8 days, 7 nights, excursions, travel, transportation, food, parties, and all that great stuff, and red carpet, blue carpet, ribbon cutting. Those trips, ladies and gentlemen, have been $5,000 plus airfare. So your average person that made that trek with us would have invested somewhere about $8,000 to $9,000, including airfare and spendable money. So we said, how can we celebrate and make things amazing for you? Because without you, there's no way we can do this. We said, hey, 2 tracks. Number one, our 57 investors, we gave them an amazing gift. 4 weeks for 2 people for 4 years. That's right. 4 weeks, 2 people for 4 years. So if you do the math, 1 8-day, 7-night trip with us on those 3 times we take in groups is $5,000. So if we're giving you 2 people, that's 5 times 2, that's $10,000. Times 4, that's $40,000. So we have afforded our investors $40,000 trip for a small investment of just 1 trip. And the great thing about this, ladies and gentlemen, they can use these trips for the next 4 years, no blackouts, as long as the units are available, they're at their disposal. You tell me who does that. Now I hear what you're saying, the skeptic in you who are watching this. But DJ, you didn't give it to him absolutely free. Well, of course, I didn't give it to him absolutely free. However, let me put your thinking cap on. Show me a 4-week, 2 people stay in a brand new luxury residential resort, brand new luxury townhouse, gated, that you can go and stay for less than $10,000 to $12,000. Show me one. I'll be waiting. So what we have done and what our investors understand, it's priceless. So they invest a little over $5,000 and they get $40,000 of hard assets to stay and go anytime they want to. That's amazing. And let me tell you why it's so amazing, ladies and gentlemen. Because before we endeavored in Zanzibar, I actually, in 2017, was a VIP of a hospitality chain called Bahia Principe, right outside of Playa del Carmen, Mexico. Had been a member of their program for about 10 years, spending $4,000 or $5,000 every year to go. They invited me to their flagship resort called Hotel Iscarre. Matter of fact, Nick, why don't you pull this up? Because I want to give them a parallel comprehension here. So Hotel Iscarre was about a quarter, maybe a third completed in pre-launch, and I was invited as a VIP to come here in December 2017. 7 days and 6 nights was $6,000, ladies and gentlemen. That was 2017. I said $6,000. I had such an exceptional time at this resort. Nobody knew of it. That I came back the next December and I stayed for 10 days and 9 nights, $10,000. That was in 2018. Today, this resort, just pull it up, Nick. Pull up, go to the, let's schedule a trip here and let's see what Hotel Iscarre charges. So $10,000 for 10 days, 9 nights. Let's just pull up right now. Let's pull, let's say you want to go for, I don't know. I stayed in a suite. And let's put in 4 weeks. Let's say we're going to stay from tomorrow to May 30th. That's more than 4 weeks, right? Let's say tomorrow, the 20th, to the 20th of May. 4 weeks. Let's see how much Hotel Iscarre. And they're not giving you any discounts, ladies and gentlemen.
The funny thing is, it's already blocked out.
It's already blocked out. But what does it even? It at least shows what the price is, right?
Yep. Looks like $1480 a night.
$1480 a night. All right, so y'all see this? We ain't making this up. Sweet, and this is a comparable. So let's pull up the calculator, Nick. $1480 a night, and we're giving comparable stay in Zanzibar. Brand new luxury residential resort, 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom penthouse, duplexes, luxury townhouses, private pool, gated, high technology, all that. So let's open up the calculator. $1472 a night. What is that times 20? Because 4 weeks is 20 days, right?
All right, here we go. All right, 1472 times 20 days.
Times 2 people, because that's double occupancy.
Times 2 people.
$58,800. Call it 60 grand. We're giving our investors, and I hope the investors that are watching this right now who have not taken advantage of this gift, several have. I hope you understand what you are being offered. So literally, I'm just going to be straightforward with you, because this is how we help our investors out. We're giving it to them for 3/4 of $10,000. You do the math. So I'm just leaving it at that. So they're getting 4 weeks. So divide 4 into 5880. What does that come out? What is a 1 week stay there, Nick?
Okay.
Worth every penny, ladies and gentlemen, because this is a 5-star resort. Michelin restaurant. All excursions included. The average excursion when I went in 2018, and I think we tried to go a year or two ago, right, Nick?
Yep.
So I confession, I have not been back yet, because we tried to go, because just like what Nick did, it was all booked up, and it was $2,000 a night. We tried to go last year, Memorial Day weekend. Tried to take our team there. So 1 week here, $14,720. It's $15,000 worth every penny. And as I was saying, the excursions are about $200 a person. They got about 10 different excursions. You come on our trip, we have about 5 to 8 top tier excursions that you can take. So, Nick, divide that by 2, because what we're giving investors, it's half that amount for 4 weeks. So let me ask you that's watching this in the replay alive right now, would you investing about $7,300, call it $7,500, would 4 weeks for 2 people be a steal of a deal? All right. So I hear you. Well, I'm not an investor, DJ. What about me? You're right. So that's what we did for the investors. So we have something for you too. It's called a celebration, baby. It's a celebration. Have a good time, cool in the game. So Nick, we're going to pull it up. Pull it up on the screen. Let's show them what we're doing for the average individual who occasionally watches our program. And shout out to Yamisi, who saw us last week, and she came on, she got excited, and she's getting her thing. So we're giving you, individual, here's the beauty of it. You can take 4 weeks for one person, but wouldn't it be nicer to take 3 more friends with you? So we're going to give you and 3 other people 1 full week stay for a mere $4,000. Yeah, scroll on down, Nick, and we're going to show. I want you to hear this. So we're going to give you one person. You can take 4 weeks by yourself, or if you like me, you can take 3 friends with you and stay 7 days, 6 nights for $4,000. But here's the great thing about it. You can do it in 4 easy installments. Scroll down, Nick. So here's what I'm saying. This ends tomorrow. 1 installment right now, April 19th, April 20th. 1 installment May, 1 installment June, 1 installment July. And if you don't have any friends, you get to come here for 4 weeks, and you can redeem these over the next 24 months. Now, that's excluding airfare, because I can't pay you airfare. Or if you're like, a couple of people that got the package and say, hey, I want to go with me and my wife, or me and my husband, or my 2 friends, you can take 1 week and you can go celebrate. And check it out. You invest 1 payment, they invest 1 payment, and you all get it for $1,000 a piece. Can you tell me that's not amazing? And you just saw a Hotel Escarre. That's a $14,880 package for 4 to celebrate our 4th anniversary. However, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow, when the clock strikes 12 a.m. on the 21st of April, this is gone, gone, gone. So that's how we do it here at DJ the Money Coach. And that's how we celebrate, baby. We party like it's 1999. So if I'm you watching this live and you had any inkling of going to Zanzibar over the next 2 years, man, I am punching that link right now, and I'm securing my 4 weeks for myself or my 1 week for 4 people before the clock strikes midnight. So, Nick, with that said, let's go to the break. I was so excited. Went all past time. My game is on. It's the play-in, the Bulls versus the Heat. Obviously, I'm pulling for the Bulls. So let's show them what that looks like in terms of the commercial spot. We'll come back. We'll wrap it up, and we'll call it a day. And we'll thank you for helping us build this platform. We'll be right back at these words from us about the celebration for you on our anniversary with you. It's 2024, and the truth be told, the Pom Pom Lifestyle Virtual Summit is the only one of its kind. We're going to give you 7 assets to acquire in the summit. That's right, from condos, single-family homes, duplexes, apartment buildings, resorts, acquiring other deal flow of acquisition of companies. And most importantly, we're going to show you how to finance it 7 different ways, from seller financing, home equity lines of credit, traditional cash out refis, substitution of collateral, and private investors in the summit. And last but not least, money follows management. We're going to give you our 7 spheres of money business team, all licensed professionals with 10 plus years, 6-figure passive income, 7-figure net worths. What are you waiting for? The Pom Pom Lifestyle movement can't be stopped. Hit the link. Join me in the only summit of its kind. I'll see you on the flip side. All right, welcome back. You're watching Family Finance Friday with DJ the Money Coach. Today is the happy 4th anniversary of DJ the Money Coach online. We started out online April 20 of 2020, and tomorrow is literally our 4th year anniversary, and we're going to commemorate that 4th year anniversary and do what's called the Pom Pom Lifestyle Virtual Summit online tomorrow afternoon, 12 noon Eastern to 3 p.m. Eastern, and it's going to be a rocking blast. So it's not too late. If you want to take advantage of that, go ahead. It's going to be powerful. We're going to show you all the things that we've done over the past 20 years, how we acquired condos, single-family homes, apartment buildings, resorts, mobile homes, seller financing, substitution collateral, business credit, HELOCs. Man, we're going to just knock it out the park to show you the inside and the secret sauce, which really isn't a secret. Okay. So we're extremely excited about that. And man, we've done all the talking that we need to do. So this has been a celebration. And the celebration is really to honor and celebrate you, not us, because we need you to see yourself in the success circle, not us. And why is that important? Because we go through 3 phases in life. And we live in 4 quarters of life. What is the first phase of life? It's called the struggle. Nick, why don't you put that up on the screen for us? So struggle is generally from people who are going through high school, college, trade school, med school, law school, engineering school, carpentry, all of that things. So you struggle, which is part of the process. Let me tell you why that's so important. So, when you see a caterpillar and they get into their cocoon and they're starting to literally metamorphose into a beautiful monarch butterfly, let's say you saw the actual process and one wing started coming out and you felt sorry for the moth, not the moth, but the caterpillar, and you decided to help them out because you didn't want them to go through the struggle. What you don't realize is that you now have rendered them useless. You literally have taken the struggle, which builds up muscle, literally, and stripped them of the ability to build muscle. Thus, you have killed them. What does that equate to? Real simple. I'm talking to you parents right now. And you who are successful, you can't show me, and I mean true success. I don't mean the woman or the man who was born, with a silver spoon on third base. And they call that success when mom and dad paid for everything, gave them their jobs, connected them with everything. There's nothing wrong with that. But when they're getting it without any earning involved at all, that's not success. I don't care if they got billions of dollars. Trump is similar to that. These are facts. I know many people like that. And I just didn't spring out Trump just to say it, but that was the first thought that came to my mind. So the struggle is a requirement to build muscle, to build mental fortitude, to build character. So if you are fortunate to go through the proper process, I don't care if you grew up in the hood, if you grew up in a middle class community, or if you grew up in an upper class community, there is a process of struggle in order to create number 2. Phase 2 is success. So the struggle builds character, you develop, you get educated, you learn skills, and then you take that diploma, that certification, that new technical skill, and you incorporate it into your first real line of employment, job, career, business. And now within 2 to 5 years, you become financially successful. I always tell my clients and my mentees or my apprentice who I actually, consult with and help them build businesses, I say 3 years out of the 2 to 5 year plan, the first year, you're going to invest in yourself monetarily, physically, mentally. And you're going to build yourself up. The second year, you're going to do application of a skill set that you developed. This is where you're almost halfway to those 10,000 hours to become number one in your craft. So now you are developing skills and experience to become, in the third year, an expert. First year, invest, learn, develop. Second year, start doing the job, the career, the business. Third year, what you will see is you'll start seeing the same things over and over. Now you can take the skills, the experience, and you become the resident expert, and you're now successful. We have never seen anybody that have not done the 4x4 literally step by step, good, bad, and indifferent, stayed the course, did not modify it, tweak it, but did it the right way, not make 6 figures. Matter of fact, most of the people that I've worked with over the last 22 years and the 45,000 people I've personally sat down with or worked with online that have stuck to this system literally have made $250,000. Now, I hear you. I don't believe you, DJ. I don't believe you either. But unfortunately, you can't argue with actual physical success. Let me show you. You're watching this show. Nick, talk to him real quickly. Tell him where we were in April 2020. How long did it take for us to get over 6 figures? And how long did it take for us to eclipse 6 figures a month? And where are we today? And if you don't believe me, that the struggle is requirement, the success, and if you literally follow the 4x4 in 2 to 5 years, that you certifiably will make 6 figures, yet alone more than that, I'll let Nick share it with you.
Okay. My timeline might be a little fuzzy, but I'll try to remember it to the best of my ability. So we started in April 2020. Like DJ mentioned earlier, we invested $12K, only made $3K, and that was in April. And then I believe it was in August. We finally eclipsed 5 figures. I think that was about, I want to say that was about 16, if I remember correctly. I think it was 16 in August of 2020.
Yep.
And then let's see. So that was April, May, June, July, August, and then I think it was December. It was either December 2020 or December of the next year.
2021. Yep.
2021. Yeah, 2021.
And before December,
yeah,
we went to an event.
Yeah.
Keynote in Atlanta.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And then we brought on a significant player to the team. Who was that significant player of the team?
Okay, so the next significant player was that Kadera? Was Kadera?
Yep.
Yeah, Kadera was
we
the first.
Kadera on in October of 2021.
Wow.
And we were still doing, ladies and gentlemen. And here's the irony of it: we eclipsed 5 figures. We were doing a solid 5 figures.
Yeah,
little under 30 racks.
30. Yep. It's coming back to me now. Yep.
We were doing a little under 30 racks. And the following month, we were dipping down again.
Mm-hmm.
And then I happened to see in a sliver, remember the four P's performance? I happened to see a sliver, maybe a 30-second, 60-second reel on IG, which I never go on, of Kadera. And she was talking about automation and saving 500 hours. And I clicked on it and I called her. One conversation, one interview. She joined the team October 2021. What happened to us November, December 2021, Nick?
Yeah. Well, before I go to that, Kadera too. You know, that one call, she performed exercise the 4 P's by performing on that sliver. You know, so but after that, that's when Kadera brought us not quite 6 figures yet, but just below 6 figures. I think she brought us to 80, right? Brought us to 80, and then after that, she brought us to 6
on our anniversary.
On that, yeah.
April 2022, we hit 6 figures, ladies and gentlemen. 2 years to the day, 6 figures. April 2022. Added some more players to the team. And then we jumped into the boat and rock and roll with Zanzibar. And then 2 years later, from April 2022, we took 6 figures to 7 figures. Debt-free, no loans, none of that. And all we did, ladies and gentlemen, is we followed the system. So as I talk about phase 1, struggle. That was the investment, the learning, the platform, the experiences, some people leaving the team, the, what do you say? The cream rises to the top and the wheat separates itself from the chaff. So in a process of 12 months, ladies and gentlemen, we originally had a 5-6 man team. And at the end of 12 months, we only had a 2-man team. Well, I mean, I'm not including myself. I'm talking about the team members. So we had Nick and Renee. And that's all we needed because we didn't know what we didn't know. And mind you, Nick had no experience ever being in business. 0. Nick is a high school teacher with a master's degree in history and education and knew nothing about business. I mean, 0. Off the street, knew nothing about business.
Yep, it's true.
Renee, off the street, knew nothing about business. These are facts, ladies and gentlemen. But guess what? Because I have been doing this, have took my turn at going and trying 12 different businesses. Struggled. 8 of them were me getting my PhD in expertise. 4 of them taking the 7 figures in 20 years. So I knew what we were doing. Phase 2, guess what? We start seeing people. We're not creating a new system. The system was already here from 2002. But the experiences on the internet were new to us, and we had to learn how to navigate and learn how to do business on the internet. But we had a cheat sheet, which was already a 18-year system. Does that sound familiar? You turn 18, you get out of high school, you go to college or go to trade school. So now we start seeing the same video on the internet, and we tweaked it with Kadera's help. She took us from the analog practices and made us digital. And we didn't create new clients. We actually took the bottleneck. Nick, give an example of your experience of onboarding to how we do it now to show with them why we were losing business.
Man, I mean, between the onboarding and me,
what was the physical stuff I was asking you to do that you had to be crazy just to do that because it was a headache? man. So, anyone who's worked with us, especially if you're watching, you can attest that once you purchase one of our packages, you get an email right away with your consultation link, your
your ebooks, whatever else is included. That goes out automatically. But when I was doing it, I was sending it out manually, one by one, myself.
Or a matter of fact, when Nick became a client of mine, I was faxing him, emailing him, taking weeks to get him something that we can send you in 5 seconds now. And it was coming out all jacked up. The only thing I can guarantee you was the security of my fax system that nobody could get tapped into. That was the only thing I can reassure you. But when it came to me having him to send me his reports, his statements, and all of that, man, it was hell. And it's amazing he just did it.
I was crazy enough.
But see, here's the thing, guys. In the physical world, I would normally go drop this stuff off at people's houses. So I didn't think about, man, I need to transfer this into digital. What I did was I took a shortcut and made PDFs. And not knowing them PDFs was even harder to send to people. So imagine that. So we stayed the course, ladies and gentlemen. And now it's 30 seconds. You get everything digitized. You get a survey that when Nick was with me would take 30, 40 minutes to fill out, 2-3 minutes. Mm-hmm. A digital box that you could just upload your information and sign it when you would have to fax it to me, sign it, fax it back, all that crazy stuff. But we figured it out. We became successful and we literally got time back. And we folded it to your advantage where you were able to get more of us one-on-one than going through the process. Y'all understand? What does that sound like? That sounds like college. That sounds like an apprenticeship. Am I right? Your first couple of years in college, what are you doing? You're trying to figure things out. Then you get into your what? Major. Or if you do an apprenticeship, they give you very low hanging fruit tasks and work you up. So then we became successful. So again, folks, struggle, getting on the internet, trying to figure stuff out we don't know nothing about, marketing, advertising, all that stuff. Then we start getting experiences. Then we bring in an expert, digitized us. Now we're getting that stuff done in seconds versus hours, days, weeks. But we're still seeing the same people. Do you understand me, ladies and gentlemen? Because the people didn't change. So now the Nicks of the world, he has a profile. There's other people that profile is similar to Nick's. So I can plug their profile in, answer their questions just like that from what? My experience and my expertise. So now instead of me working with 10 people a week, I can work with 20, 30 people a week because I'm not doing paperwork. And now I know as an expert, people fall in 4 different categories financially. So all I got to do is discern through their quick 30-second survey, their quick 2-minute budget sheet, who they are, turn them over to a team, which we then added to the team, Tajir, Gerald, Keith, Isaiah, Dom. Guess what, folks? They're now doing what I was doing and made us into a multiplier. Does that make sense, ladies and gentlemen? So now there's success. So that's how we start making more money. It's called franchise duplication multiplication. So now after we've done that, we now go into the best phase there is. Struggle, learning. Phase 2, success. You get financial security and independence and gain some expertise and some experience. And now you become significant. Significance. What does that mean? That means we're now giving back. We already done it. So now let's help you buy back 500 hours of your time. Let's help you make your first $1,000 a month in revenue. Then let's help you make your first $1,000 a month in passive income. And then over the next 2 to 5 months, let's help you make $3,000. And then over the next 12 to 24 months, let's help you make $5,000 a month. So you have to crawl, walk, run. So we are in the significant phase, and what this 4th year anniversary is in relation to why we're giving away 4 weeks for 4 easy installments of 1,000, because that's significance, ladies and gentlemen. So why have you invest $15,000 when we can subsidize you for 4 and do it in 4 easy payments? Now, again, I know what you're saying. Hey, DJ, you said you just don't brag and boast about your philanthropy and your charity. This is not a brag and a boast. This is what we're saying. We want to celebrate you. Because that's not charity. See, my charity is what I give back to children and stuff like that. I don't share that with you. That impact is for their benefit and their validation only, not yours. This is thank you very much. You deserve to have a taste of the pom-pom lifestyle, which is plenty of money and peace of mind, while we, rhinos that are running headstrong into negative opposition with a smile on our face, so you can have the pom-pom lifestyle experience, thus the significance. So you get the best of both worlds. You can come and get the education and the access to the professionals and leveraging our network to give you success tomorrow. And you can take the trip too. Man, it don't get no better than that, ladies and gentlemen. And we are literally one of one. We're unicorns. Because what do I say you should do when you engage with anybody? Ask them 3 questions, Nick. What are those questions, Nick? Let's put them up there. Because I hear you. Man, I don't believe you never heard of it. And you rightfully so. But ask these 3 questions to vet anybody on the planet, including us. And if they can answer these 3 questions, run like lightning fast. Let's talk to them about that, Nick, and let's get up out of here.
All right. First question. Do you have equity and ownership in what you're attempting to sell or market to me?
I thought you would never ask, Nick. Yes, I have equity and ownership in everything. I own the resorts. I own the townhouses. I own the condos. I own the transportation. I own apartment buildings. I own single family homes. I own successful businesses. I have the deeds. I have the corporations to prove it. Next question.
Okay. All right. Well, that's all great. You know, congratulations on your success, Mr. DJ. But here's my question, though. Like you did all that for you, but how can I get access and execute to achieve my dream?
Man, you know what, Nick? You are absolutely right. Who gives a rip about what I've done? It's all about what's in it for you. The platinum rule. So, Nick, let me tell you what I can do for you. Nick, I have created with our team a system called the 7 Spheres of Money. And in that 7 Spheres of Money, Nick, we have built relationships with accounting practices, insurance companies, banks, financial planning, real estate, estate planning, and legal. They have partnered with us, Nick, since 2002. And each one of these companies, Nick, have at least 10 years of expertise working for Fortune 500 companies, Fortune 50 companies, and Fortune 1 companies. And all of them, Nick, have created millions of dollars in business. And all of them, Nick, make 6 figures a year. I will immediately, Nick, take you and give you access to them, Nick. And then not only will we give you access to them, Nick, they will now help you execute your dream the same way they helped me accomplish what I've shared with you in my equity and ownership.
Oh man, wow, that's amazing, man. That's all I need to hear, man. My last question is, how do I sign up?
Well, all you do, Nick, is hit that link and join us tomorrow in the Pom Pom Lifestyle Virtual Summit. And it's the first and only one that I've ever done, because normally I do this stuff live with Fortune 500 companies like Chase. So I hope you get this, ladies and gentlemen. We literally just did a role play, but it's actually real. And the reality is, whomever you engage with if they can't answer those first two questions with proof, viable, certifiable, solid proof, not speculation, not hyperbole, and not false dreams, you should stay far away from them. And I'll say this too. They ought to be licensed professionals, because guess what? Those 7 spheres of money system, our people are licensed. Licensed. That's right. I am a licensed home, health, auto, property, and casualty professional, have been for well over a decade. Here's the great thing to you. I don't sell the products. I am an educator and an advocate for you. I break down the principles inside the industries and tell you what products work for when and where, because each product and service has a time and place. And I'll leave it with this. Most people buy life insurance. Most people buy auto insurance. Most people buy homeowners insurance. The reality is there's multiple different vehicles for place and time as it pertains to life insurance. When you're starting out in the struggle phase and you're young, 18 to 25, you probably don't need permanent insurance unless you came from a trust fund. You need, what is called term insurance. That's it. Period. Now, when you get in the success phase and you start to accumulate some assets, and let's say you got a 401k, 403b, a Roth IRA, index funds, you may have 300, 400, 500, you may even have $1 million between your house, your car, and your retirement plan in your portfolio. You now need some form of permanent insurance. Now, you come over to the significant phase, you're in your philanthropy, and you have a few millions of dollars. Now you need to be doing estate planning, and that's a different type of insurance. You might need some whole life. You might need some annuities. Do you see what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen? Term in the struggle, maybe some, index universal life, variable universal life in the success, but then you're in estate planning where taxation to your estate can be significant and erode your life earnings. You need a vehicle that's insurance to protect and pay the taxes for you. I can educate you on all 3 phases. Same thing with auto insurance. You start out, you're single, you're young, rates might be higher. You're married, you have some assets, rates go down lower, but then you have some children. Now your children gets their first driver's license, and now the insurance company is coming after you, even though they're not going to do any driving, and they automatically want to put them on your policy and double your rates. We can educate you through the process. Need I say any more? Homeowners insurance, same thing. House paid off, less need of coverage depending on the value. House not paid off, more coverage might cost you more. But then there's some secrets inside the industry that I teach you on how to buy the insurance based on the value and the unit of measure. But I'm not going to tell you that here. You got to come through the system. You see why it's important to deal with licensed professionals? Again, I've been in the securities insurance business since 2002. I held over 6-7 different securities licenses, have not been securities licensed since 2012, 2014. But I kept my insurance license active so I can continue to educate on insurance, because we have a partner in our 7 spheres of money, financial services, that have those licenses. You know who that person is? That person called Melvin Hobson. Melvin Hobson has Series 7, Series 65, Series 6, 63, 26, just to name a few. The 7, that means you can trade all types of securities, stocks, puts, calls. 65, that means you can do assets under management, ladies and gentlemen. That means he can manage your portfolio for you. 26, that means he can manage other licensed registered investment advisors. 6, mutual funds. 63, annuities. And if I'm getting one of them mixed up, don't come out and tell, oh man, you're wrong. Hey, I'm just telling you what they are. If the 6 is with the annuities and the 63 is with the mutual funds, you understand where I'm coming from. But see, it's unfortunate you have to, preface that for the ignorant person. Okay? So with that said, I don't have to be licensed because I have somebody who's been doing it for 20 years. Or I have Nikki Cannon on the West Coast who has hundreds of agents and been on Forbes magazine for one of the top financial advisors in the country on our team. So there's no need for me to be licensed anymore. But I'm licensed in the insurance piece because that's the core part of your family scenario. So I'm going to explain to you how the products work, give you the updates on them. Does that make sense, ladies and gentlemen? So again, question number 1, boom. Can you show me your equity and ownership and what you're trying to market or sell to me? And as my grandfather and my father taught me, hey, DJ, before you give anything or sell anything to anybody, eat your own dog food. What does that mean, ladies and gentlemen? You buy it, build it, invest in it first, understand the risk before you offer it to somebody else. Don't be a intermediary who don't have any skin in the game. And it's a bunch of you out there. You also have the people out there after you build something because they're haters or they don't have the gonads to do what you do. They try to question everything you do. But here's the thing I always recommend to folks. I don't take advice, nor do I seek validation from somebody that hasn't done more than what I've done. I'm going to say that again. I don't take advice or validation for somebody that hasn't done more than what I've done. What does that mean? That means if all of a sudden you want to come up and say, hey, man, I don't believe you own blah, blah, blah. And then all I say is, show me what you own. I don't care if you got 500 degrees, PhD, Judas doctorate, medical degree. Means absolutely nothing to me. 0. Because here's what I know. You can't cash it, baby. Go into the grocery store and say, I'm a MBA. I'm a Judas, blah, 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 lawyer of the F degree. They're going to say, is that cash, credit, or charge, Mr. or ma'am? So what does that mean? I got the receipts on what I own, baby. I sleep well at night. Don't need your validation. Don't need the government validation either. So with that said, enough is enough. We're happy. We're celebrating. We're gone much too long, but these are the vetting process. These are the reasons why we celebrate. And it's what one of my best advisors told me, John C. Maxwell. He said, hey, tell them what you're going to do. Tell them what you told them and tell them how to do it. Keep it simple, baby. The definition of genius is not that Nick or DJ can show you how we can do complicated things. It's how Nick and DJ can show you how complicated things are easy for you to do. So we're taking calculus and making it first grade math. 1 + 1 = 2. But we have a better math. 1 × 1 = 11 in the 7 spheres of money. So I'm DJ, the Money Coach, on behalf of the amazing Nick Westbrooks, on behalf of Kadera, on behalf of Tajir, on behalf of Financially Free D, on behalf of Isaiah, on behalf of Dominic, on behalf of Keith, on behalf of Gerald, on behalf of the 50+ people that we employ in Zanzibar, on behalf of the virtual assistants that we have. I think we have, 5 to 10 virtual assistants on our staff through our, business. On behalf of our 7 different partners at the 7 spheres of money. Lisa K. Shebar, my attorney and best friend on the planet since 2007. On behalf of Dr. Hollowell, our medical expert, certified top 1 of 1 practicing medical practice across the world for the past 30 years. On behalf of Paul Bax, our amazing accountant, Mary Lou Helm, James Lane, Stephen Tolliver, our mortgage banker extraordinaire, Pete Storkovich, our mobile home expert, who and his partners run over 12 different amazing mobile home parks across the world. On behalf of Stacia Robinson, who's been in the benefits business for over 25 years and is a executive for the city of Montgomery, Alabama. On behalf of Chase Bank, who took a investment in us, and in 2022 they put the Family Finance 101 core course to the test, and they invested and helped us bring 358 professionals like you through our system over 8 weeks, and we discovered $42 million of money that was misallocated for professionals, small business owners, and help them get it on the right pathway. On behalf of our construction engineering partners in Zanzibar, Oswald Godfrey, who built all of those assets that you see with us. Partners, meaning we are financially invested with them as business partners. Equity and ownership, baby. On behalf of Muhammad, who runs Mr. Kites on our tourism platform. On behalf of King Ali, who actually was the general manager at the first beautiful resort that I stayed at in Zanzibar and befriended me and was naive enough to believe me when I said I'm coming back with more people and we're going to buy a lot of stuff in March of 2022. Now he runs our property management and our hospitality part of our business. On behalf of our advocates, which are attorneys in Zanzibar, hats off to Ibrahim, hats off to Rashad. On behalf of our families, our mothers, our fathers, our brothers, our sisters, our children, and most importantly, on behalf of our members, from the ones who invested in our simple Back to Basics course to the ones who have become executive members who invest thousands of dollars to get our expertise to help shortcut in business the right way for them. And on behalf, last but not least, our 57 investors to help us get off the ground Zanzibar and make it a dream come true that nobody else was able to accomplish. We thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And by the way, on behalf of Marcus and Jonathan, who run our apartment building aspect and our VA program for veterans, we salute you, we celebrate you, and we thank you from the heart of hearts for allowing us to come into your house and sit down with you and help you crawl, walk, run to debt freedom, 800 credit scores, and passive income in 2 to 5 years, doing it the right way, unapologetically, so that you can enjoy the pom-pom lifestyle, which is plenty of money and peace of mind. And we want you to come join us on the beaches of the World Club. And Nick, as you say, if they can't do that, what do we leave them with?
You create your own beach, and your beach is wherever you find your mental peace and tranquility.
There you go. So let's take them home, and you too can be a champion because God made you a champion. You are one of one, and the only person can stop you from peace, success, and financial independence is you. I'm DJ the Money Coach. We'll see you tomorrow, and may God bless you, and thank you for sharing 4 years of success to significance with you. God bless. It's 2024, and the truth be told, the Pom Pom Lifestyle Virtual Summit is the only one of its kind. We're going to give you 7 assets to acquire in the summit. That's right. From condos, single-family homes, duplexes, apartment buildings, resorts, acquiring other deal flow of acquisition of companies. And most importantly, we're going to show you how to finance it 7 different ways, from seller financing, home equity lines of credit, traditional cash out refis, substitution of collateral, and private investors in the summit. And last but not least, money follows management. We're going to give you our 7 spheres of money business team, all licensed professionals with 10 plus years, 6-figure passive income, 7-figure net worths. What are you waiting for? The Pom Pom lifestyle movement can't be stopped. Hit the link. Join me in the only summit of its kind. I'll see you on the flip side. It's official. We're in business, guys.
All right.
Here's where we do it at, baby. Cooperative economics. What's happening, everybody? This is DJ the Money Coach coming to you live January 17th, 2024. And history has already been recorded. That's right. We just opened up a 220-unit luxury residential resort in Zanzibar. We also are completing 4 luxury townhouses in Zanzibar. And we're also going to open up the Pom Pom Lifestyle Resort in Zanzibar. It's Africans for Africans, supported by Black Americans unapologetically. So what time is it?
The Pom Pom
Lifestyle Movement can't be stopped. Hit the link. Join us on the Beaches World in Zanzibar. Home is ours. Peace.